Doing out there, people?
What's up?
Hello, hello.
How's everybody doing? We are live. Look, we're live.
Hey, YouTube.
YouTube, we are bringing y'all on with us.
Unforgive.
See our door over there.
It's clean.
Ursita, what's going on?
Forgiveness. I'm feeling worse. Hey, Ursita. How are you? Welcome back. Thank you for joining us again this week. Unforgiveness.
That piece of hair is still sticking up. How's everybody? How was everybody's weekend? Yeah, that's good. That looks good like that.
It doesn't.
Yes, it does.
Hello.
Hello.
And welcome.
Welcome.
Hey, everybody on Facebook Live.
I'm
gonna try again. I'm trying to say hi because this has been giving me the blues. That looks really okay. Webcam looks really good.
You'll have to watch it shaking.
Oh yeah. See y'all. See, I need something. Need an apple bomb.
Hello, Julo. Welcome. Did you share it with me?
Not yet.
You should have did that already.
Come in. If you don't leave me alone. You just asked me about this.
No, I said share it with me on there. We're getting it together, y'all. Give us a second.
Why?
So that my people can see that we're live when you share it with me.
I know that, but I'm just what
I don't know if you can do it now that you didn't share it with me.
You got to share it right before you go live?
Yeah.
Why didn't you tell me that?
I did. That's exactly what I said.
No, that's not true because other people share it while we're in the process of doing this. So that don't even make sense.
See, you got tag me in it.
Where?
Right to the left.
There. Okay.
Yeah, see if it works.
Who you with? Get Krug, who you with? Okay. And then what I do?
Hit save.
Oh, save.
I cancel. What's going on, y'all?
Enter. I was gonna hit enter. Hello. We're trying to get it together because we're trying to do something new tonight.
Yeah, we got something new jumping off, so we're trying to get it going. See, it didn't even see. I got my Facebook up over here,
and it didn't give you that. It said I'm with you.
Yeah, let me look on my page.
I'm with you.
Let me see if it says something. Did everybody have a good weekend? Okay, tag me in the video. Okay, cool.
So it's tagging and sharing the same thing?
Let me see if I see now.
This made me look shiny, all these lights. I promise y'all like this oily. Jesus. I can find some grease on my face.
Okay, yeah, I think it worked.
So it's the same?
Yeah. Oh, there we go.
Hey, you gotta turn something down.
I'm gonna turn this off. You can fry some grease on your face.
Yeah, so greasy.
Okay, we got comments coming in.
Oh, okay. I'm trying to see you asking me to do a whole lot.
I'm asking you to do what I said before
while I was doing this, you could have been trying to get in.
I don't know your username and password. That's your account.
Well, you should have did this. You should have did something. You're stressing me out right now.
See,
marriage is real.
This is what happened when you don't listen.
What you say?
Nah, y'all, you know we tripping.
I gotta get my phone. See, it ain't working.
See, this is why you're supposed to know your username and passwords to your social media
Damien, you need to stop because you don't know none of yours.
Yes, I do.
No, you don't.
I don't log out.
This ain't mine though. This is Jordan's. I can't get in.
Tell him to come log in. Jordan, we're gonna get started. Come
Trinity,
here.
Bring me a paper plate, please. I'm in. Don't worry about it.
You got in?
Yeah.
Good. High five with the turquoise shirt.
You ain't getting a high five.
Why?
Because you've been high capping. Look at
yes, we do.
Look in the pantry.
Never mind. Okay. Welcome. Hi, Marion.
Hey, welcome back.
People been talking over there too.
Hey, y'all. Hey, Sonia. Hey, Tiffany. White girl, don't be laughing. You know, marriage is real. This is the real deal, and I'm actually keeping it PG for Facebook and YouTube and all them. Hey, O'Shea. Yes, we are lost. Very, very. We need some tech support on tonight. Oh, girl, thank you.
We the talent.
Ooh,
we
yeah.
the talent. We the production.
You gonna feel me like
we the editors. We everything. So we just gotta do what we gotta do.
We up now. Let me just do one more thing and I'm ready.
While she's doing that, welcome to Marriage is Real. Today is April 30th. We are about to be in the 5th month.
Dang, this year's flying
in like
by.
4.5 hours. That's pretty crazy.
That just flying by. Seriously, it's crazy.
Yes.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Okay, so I'm up, but I can't see the comments yet because they already came in.
How about y'all? Weather was awesome in the A.
Oh, good.
Yeah, we've had some real good weather too. Earthsea, it's been real nice down here. Speaking of which, where's somebody tell us where y'all are tuning in from?
Yes, Earth's for the hot flashes now.
Oh, look who just joined.
Hey.
What's up, Larry?
Hey.
What's going on, dog? You like our shirts, dog? Mine look fitted, but it's
fitted. You got on that fitted tee tonight.
Hashtag brand.
You can't even see it on me.
Huh?
You can't really see them on
Pull your thing down. Put it down a little bit. Let the biceps come in. The biceps and more.
Y'all see that? Boom.
Marriage is real.
Wakanda. Wow. Forever.
See, hers got the ring on it right here. And this is the guy one. That's right. But ours doesn't have the ring because we couldn't get the
Okay, let me see.
The color and
can you show you too? Because I can't.
Show you too?
Yeah. I want my hands all in the thing.
Bam, there it is. Right there.
And the paper plate. It's real. We live.
So far on YouTube, we have 0 viewers because this is our first time on there, but it's all good. It's going to grow.
That's okay, but it stays archived. That's all we need.
We got archived. He said it was juice on this thing. Jordan.
Oh.
Jordan. Trendy.
Baby, dang, your voice carries.
That's the point. That's the pimple. I'm going through puberty again, y'all. I got a pimple. So somebody tell me where y'all are tuning in from.
You already said somebody said from the A?
Yeah, Ursita.
You already said that.
Yeah, but I'm saying anybody else.
You said it 5 minutes ago. Obviously, I don't want to tell you where they're tuning in from.
Can you bring us the charger for the thing? He didn't sucked all the juice out of it.
Y'all, these lights.
So can we get some likes and shares before we get started?
We already been getting some.
Oh, thank you. Well, can we get some shares? Share and share alike. Sharing is caring.
So is that Toya that I just saw over there?
Toya who? It's only 2 people.
But I just saw a light. It looked like
it was Toya. Hey, Toya.
Yeah. Hey, cousin. And so I gotta tell y'all, yesterday we did
Oh, okay. She's trying to cut in on what I be doing.
Yesterday. Oh, first of all, hey
Vicky. We was just gonna give you a plug, Vicky.
Here, give it to me.
Plug it in back there.
Okay, thank you. So
thanks.
First of all, I have to say that we are, well, wait a minute. I am Jamie, and this is
Damien.
And we are Marriage is Real. For those of you who don't know, first time people tuning in.
Thank y'all.
But this is Damien, I'm Jamie, and we're Marriage is Real. And yesterday we did.
Hey, Miss Diva.
Hey, is that Miss Diva Johnson with attitude?
Yep.
Hey, sister. Hey, cousin. So yesterday we did a awesome podcast with some people that we absolutely love. Vicky and Eric Lockhart. Go check out her page. It's Imagine That with MissVicky.com, right?
I think there's a website as well, but it's definitely a Facebook page.
Go on Facebook and like and share. Now they do some great topics. They have great content, relationships, singles, building businesses, all that good stuff. Everything. I mean, it runs the gamut. So that's something you definitely want to check out. We were invited and so grateful and humbled by them
on their season finale
yesterday to be on the season finale, and we talked about marital
stuff.
Yes, marriage. It was a. I'm trying to remember the title.
What it takes to be longevity in marriage.
Longevity in marriage. That. So there was 3 couples. They've actually been married going on 25 years. We're at 20 this year, and then the other couple I think is at 14 or 15.
Yeah.
Something like that. So you had some different stages and stuff like that, but it was absolutely, we had a phenomenal time because they are just
we want
so fun.
And we want to platform like that so we can take it to the next level.
So, anywho, I'm sorry, I'm just shaking. I'm trying to get my leg. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, we're gonna get this together. It's live, so when it's live, it ain't. It's just real.
Hey, Shella.
So, hey, Shella. Oh yeah, we'll post the link. Did you post it yesterday?
I did not. I did not. I will make sure. I'm going to make a note of that to get.
So Damon will post the link tonight on Facebook and on Instagram. We'll put it in the what is it called? What's the lingo? In the bio. There you go. Boom. There you go. We'll put it in the bio tonight so you can click it and see the podcast yesterday. It was about an hour.
And also make sure. We're going to start promoting the YouTube channel. Make sure you go out and subscribe to Marriages Real's YouTube channel as well.
Absolutely.
We've had it for a while. We've got some classic videos when we used to record as opposed to doing live.
We got some archive when we used to do all that editing and stuff.
Yeah. So we got some videos on there for y'all to check out. So let me tell y'all something funny real quick. So
we're going to get into it in a minute.
Yeah. So yesterday I went and bought me some clothes, right? So I bought this shirt. It's a real nice shirt. For those of you who don't know, I have a rather sizable head. And I also have dreads. So I have head and dreads.
Head and dreads.
So
head, shoulders, knees.
I really like this shirt, but I couldn't get my head in the shirt, y'all.
I wouldn't even tell nobody this story.
I
wouldn't tell nobody.
I could not get I got about right here. I was like, this ain't happening.
Well, it's because of this style that he has. Turn your head around. Turn your head to the side. See that style? It's big, so it's kind of protruding out. So it's big. I mean, he couldn't get the shirt over his head because that, and plus his head is large, sizable. But
it's all good.
It's okay. I love your big old head. It's always been this size too.
Yeah.
No, it really wasn't that. Your head wasn't that big when we first met. Your head grow. We still grow. Your head grow. Your nose keep growing. I
would like to see the statistical
and your lips
analysis.
Keep growing. Really.
Your head gets bigger.
I think it's because it's all encompassing your face and everything. Maybe not your skull, and you know what I'm saying, but your face as a whole, your head. All that's head. Anyway, we're gonna get serious. So, Damon, go ahead and introduce the topic for tonight.
Okay, so tonight we will be talking about something that is very testy.
I'm
sorry.
He always go there.
There's something that a lot of people deal with, and it's hard to deal with. But what we're going to talk about tonight is forgiveness.
Forgiveness.
That shirt looks really good.
It do.
Yeah, I like that color.
I was trying to do something like spring, kind of, stay on topic. Come on now, we need to stay on topic.
I'm just trying to give you a shine. Okay. So we're going to talk about forgiveness. Forgiveness is a major key to having a successful marriage.
Major keys.
If you plan on staying married for any amount of time, this has to be a part of your arsenal, as if something falls in my eye. So y'all know I always like to start out with a definition. The definition of forgiveness is pretty simple. Pardon or mercy.
Okay.
Let's think about that. Pardon or mercy.
It's wonderful. Pardon or mercy.
Is it like Dolly Parton? Okay. Okay. I'm gonna be serious for real now, y'all. Have you at any point in your life ever needed to be forgiven?
Yes, absolutely.
If so, tell me what's something that you've needed forgiveness for.
A whole lot of stuff.
We got 10 people.
Betrayal.
It ain't telling us nothing. Thank y'all for joining us.
Thank y'all on Facebook Live.
On Facebook Live.
I think we have a delay or something because it ain't.
It's just like, yeah. We can't see
betrayal. Being abusive.
That's what you needed forgiveness for. Who you abused?
To different people. There's a whole list of what abuse is. Abuse could be disrespect.
I said, what have you needed forgiveness for?
Betrayal. I mean, over your life, if you've
been abusing my kids,
betrayed someone. I'm not even talking about no kids. I'm talking about other people in your life. You may have done something to betray them, or they may feel like, hey, Tavia.
Tavia, I'm sorry.
Yes. Tavia. So you may have done something to. I keep getting that little. to abuse somebody, they may feel like you wronged them in some type of way or offended them or something like that. So
anybody else, what have you needed forgiveness for?
What have you needed forgiveness for?
I need forgiveness every day because I mess up every day. I live in needing forgiveness.
Hey Keisha, love you too, girl. Hey Tiffany. Hey, Keisha. Oh, Shay, I see your comment. I'm gonna have Damon. He gonna have to send you her number. She's really good. He asking about your locks. You gonna lock it up? You gonna lock
Johnny,
it up?
What's up, Johnny? Okay, Sonia, Vicky.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, cousin. Tiffany. Oh, we got a lot of people tonight. Well, bless the Lord. G. Kevin West, Tiffany.
Okay, so
Aaron, Jason, and
Joseph, Shavana. Hey, y'all.
Okay, all right, let's get cracking. Okay, so why do you think forgiveness is important?
Because it's healing.
That's good.
To you, to the individual person. What's going on?
Oh, okay, we got some people on Facebook, Instagram.
I feel like I'm uncomfortable. Now, can you wait? My chair not right. I'm just all. You need to switch your chair over. That's what it is.
There ain't nowhere for me to go from being in the shop.
Just a little bit. There you go. Bam. That's it.
See how far out I am?
No, you're fine. You're good. But I'm even.
Okay.
That's it. Because you left-handed, so you always bumping me with your hand. Marriage is real. Okay, go ahead. What happened?
Shella says saying something out of disrespect, out of anger. Ursita said unintentional disregard, saying what I'm thinking when it wasn't positive. Yeah.
Nah. Hey, that's me. Tiffany said being too honest.
Sheila.
That's true.
Too honest.
Yeah.
Is there such thing?
Yes.
Do you think there's a such thing? If it's
how
honesty,
you don't say that and you tell me that all the time?
What?
You just a little too honest.
I'm just giving information.
No, I'm just saying, don't be acting like you don't know. I'm just saying, like you said, is there such thing? Like, yeah, it is. Because everybody doesn't want to hear.
So would you rather
your truth? No, it's you don't have to say everything. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not, you don't have to say everything that come into your mind.
That come out your face.
And come into your mind and come out your face. Exactly. Okay. So go ahead.
And so how do you think that forgiveness can help in a marriage? You said that already.
I was going to say, you already are.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Forgiveness is healing. I think that's probably the biggest thing that it is.
Hey, Sheila. How you doing? Thank you for joining us.
Let me ask another question. Do y'all think there are any unforgivable offenses?
It's quiet.
Married men don't talk. What's happening?
Hey, welcome.
I was on their podcast about 3 weeks ago.
Thank y'all for having my husband on y'all show.
DC, Maryland, Virginia.
On y'all show. I'm so grateful to you, Mary. Hey, y'all. No, see, somebody said no.
Does anybody else think there are any unforgivable offenses? Like, this is it. Unforgivable, done, not happening. Anybody? Shella said no. But some things take longer to forgive. That's a good point.
That's a whole. It's a whole. Yeah. It's a whole process.
Well, we're gonna talk about something. It comes up. Hey, Sarah Brown, what's happening?
Hey, thank you for joining us. Thank you so much.
So we're going to talk about infidelity as a thing that some people. What's up, Royce? Some people may consider to be an unforgivable offense.
And relative to unforgiveness or forgiveness, it's just not infidelity. It could be. This runs the gamut. I mean, this is across the board of things that someone has done to you that you're harboring unforgiveness about. You know what I'm saying? It may not just be that you've been cheated on. It could be that somebody is abusive, and abuse is not always tangible.
Vicky just said abuse. I would forgive, but she wouldn't stay.
There you go. And so that's what I'm saying. Abuse, in some instances, abuse is not always physical. There are a lot of different definitions of what abuse is to each individual, person. So, but in a situation where there's some physical, like some laying on of some hands, yeah, that's a whole different ball game. So let's see. Yeah, and then Tiffany said, I don't think anything is unforgivable, but how you deal with things will change.
Chris.
Caution, absolutely. O'Shea, you say it is. What's unforgivable? See, this is a man talking. Are you gonna say if she sleeps with someone? I'm just assuming. I'm just throwing this out there because I know a lot of people, a lot of couples we talk to, the men be like, if she do that, it's over.
Somebody said that we supposed to be sideways. Are we sideways on Instagram?
We're supposed to be sideways because we're recording sideways.
Is this considered sideways?
We're recording,
or is this up and down
in landscape mode.
Landscape? Mm-hmm. We're in landscape mode.
Yeah, portrait is up and down.
She's gotten her tech degree now.
That is just pictures. You know, I love taking pictures.
We got some comments on Instagram.
Physical abuse. Rotavia said physical abuse. Wait a minute. Ooh, having a baby outside the marriage.
We actually talked about that before the show.
Hello, yes, cheating and kids from it.
We just talked about that.
Having an outside child, physical abuse, everything is forgivable. We just choose and pick which one to forgive. Absolutely. And so, like, a lot of people are saying, like, having a child outside the marriage, physical abuse, so on and so forth. And so you're saying that these things are unforgivable. Are you saying they're unforgivable, or is it just that they're intolerable? There's a difference. You gotta make the distinction because.
What's up, Corey?
Hey, Corey.
That's my brother.
I'm sorry, I don't want to jump into your little thing, but into your stuff. But I just want to we got to make the distinction between unforgiveness and something being intolerable, because you have to, even if somebody does that, have a child outside the marriage, or, you know, physically abuse you, or whatever the case may be, you still have to forgive them. You don't have to tolerate that, and you don't have to be a willing participant in somebody mistreating you. But the forgiveness there still has to be a forgiveness piece there for your own well-being. Come on, man, jump on in.
No, you said I was going to talk.
What you looking at?
I'll tell you.
I know, I did that.
Okay, so we came across a topic on a broadcast where a husband had cheated on his wife, and he said he'd asked for forgiveness, but she didn't want to let it go. How long should she hold on to it? And what did he did if he's trying to do right by her?
What did you say?
Did I say that?
Married men don't talk. We always record this way.
We do.
We were like this the last time. I don't know. Maybe I don't know what's happening.
Yeah, we always like
this is the same. So is anybody else having some issues seeing, like, does it look weird on your screen, or is it anything different? Because, you know, sometimes Instagram be doing some updates stuff we don't know.
But,
okay, so
basically,
what you say again, I don't get it.
A guy cheated on his husband. A guy cheated on his wife.
Okay.
And so he said that she should forgive him. And he was saying, okay, we've talked about it, we've discussed it. It's time to move on.
Okay, and O'Shea, I see your comment. See, he said make love to another, to anyone else. So you're saying that the man cheated. The man cheated.
They addressed it, but she can't seem to get over it. And he was saying, when is she gonna get past it? When she gets past it. Right. And she gets past it when she gets past it. And the answer to that is as long as it takes. As long as it takes. Because the reality of it is, you don't get to tell her when she's ready. You don't. It takes time. Right. It's not an overnight thing. You have to think about the atrocity. Rotavia, I see what you said. You have to work on the atrocity that was cheating. And it's not an overnight thing. It takes time. Hey, Jamil. You have to comfort her and don't torment her during the healing process where her trust is concerned. Right. So you can't. See that? When you gonna forgive me? When you gonna forgive me? I'm doing right. That's gonna make me hot up in here. Oh, go on. Come on. Are you saying something? No, go ahead. I know you want to jump in. I'm just saying, we get this so much. We talk to so many people about this when it comes to infidelity. The person that cheated wants the person that was cheated on to just get over it. Yeah. The truth of the matter is, you're not even over it. Yeah. You are not even over it. The person that did the cheating, you're holding that and harboring that because you know, if you really care about this person and you really love them and you know that you betrayed them and wronged them and they are hurting, it hurts you. So the reason that you want them to go ahead and get over it is because you don't want to talk about it no more. I just don't want to talk about it. I don't want to bring it up. I just want it to be over. But you cannot. I said I was sorry. Put a timeline on when somebody heals from something, because that's tragic. Yeah. That's absolutely tragic. And then also you have to think about, you should be the one, because what happens is in a lot of relationships, somebody cheats Thank you, Billy.
You know, we go about our hey Billy, hey classmate. So we go about our way. We talked about it. We say, okay, hey, you cheated. This is what it is. We done decided.
You pointed to me when you said that. Oh, you cheated. How come you ain't cheated?
Well, I cheated. Whatever the case may be. So whatever the case may be, but we have decided that we're going to stick and stay. We're going to work through this. It's been addressed. All the cards out on the table. Okay, everything, right? Mm-hmm. Now, if you decide to forgive me, okay, that's great. You have decided to forgive me. Now, I just want you, don't say nothing else to me about it. We don't always talk about it.
Yeah.
You should be over this by now. And see, what happens is you mad. I'm mad because you keep bringing it up. But the issue is I'm moving and breathing like ain't nothing ever happened. And I know this is going to sound crazy to some people, but for me being the cheater, I need to be the one to hold vigil during that time. Sometimes you have to lightly say, it could be just in a moment of y'all just being, sitting on the couch, having a good time, or not a good time like that, but having a bundt cake or having, eating some marble slab ice cream. A bundt cake, not the bundt cake, having some cake, some ice cream. Y'all just having a moment, mm-hmm. and you just say to them, baby, mm-hmm. be serious.
I'm being serious.
You just say to them, baby, I know that I hurt you. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to be working to make this up to you for the rest of my life. Mm-hmm. So that means that you need to be calling in, checking in, where you at, where you going. Mm-hmm. He can ask me all the questions. I can't ever get tired of, hey, why you keep asking me all this? I can't do that. Mm-hmm. I don't have the right, because now I'm accountable because I'm the one that broke the trust.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying? So I should be the one to say, it was me. I'm sorry. And even though I want to get over it, what happened? I'm still hurting because in my mind, I'm thinking, I can't believe I did this. Like, I can't believe that I would jeopardize my life over something that wasn't even worth it. And so I'm still hurting and I have so much shame behind it. I don't want to bring it up. I just want to just let it die, be dormant, just let it, let's just sweep it under the rug. So now I want him to start talking about it, but that's not real. And it's not fair, because the more that you talk about it, the more the healing can continue to progress. Mm-hmm. And it ain't got to be like, well, when she had you had your legs up on him, was y'all in that big, how was he doing it? Like, those aren't even things you should talk about.
Because that's hurt. That's hurt talking.
Yes.
Wanting information.
There are specific questions that you need to ask, like, okay, what was it really? What made you do it? How did you feel when you came home and you saw me? What did you think? That kind of stuff, like, those are real deep.
That's a tough question, right?
Intimate questions, stuff that y'all should be really working out together. Not how many times y'all do it. Where was y'all at? Was she better than me? Was he better? That stuff don't matter.
Right.
If you said, I'm gonna stay, okay, well, and even though I know somebody is saying, well, dang, when she gonna get over it? This is the thing. They're going to get over, he or she is going to get over it in due time. But the person that was hurt, you have to also be working on yourself to be mindful of your thoughts. Mm-hmm. You can't keep snooping around and spying, trying to see, I'm going to just have to keep trying to see what he's doing. Because if I don't do it, then he might get away with it. Forgiveness is not about excusing the behavior. Forgiveness is about healing and freeing yourself.
I gotta take notes on that.
Don't stop acting like that. We talk about this all the time. But the forgiveness is not about the other person. That's the thing. Like, it's not about and when that other person is continuously bringing it up, they're still trying to heal and forgive you. So you need to be forgiving them the information that they need. Of course, if it's something, like I said, we're talking about how many times and was he beating me and was she better than me? All that stuff, that's menial. Get down to the nitty gritty of the whys and the intent behind what was it? What made you do it? Wasn't me? Because a lot of times, y'all, when people cheat, it's not even about the other person. It's a personal internal thing that somebody could be going through. You could be the best wife in the whole world and he cheat. But it was never about you or what you weren't doing. It could have been about something that he was struggling with internally. But of course, we're going to always feel like...
Hi, Jacqueline.
we're going to always project that onto us like it's something that we did or didn't do. But know that it's not always, your fault. Sometimes there can be a cause and effect that can play a part, but sometimes it's not even about something that you did or didn't do. It could just have been something personal that they was dealing with.
O'Shea said from his experience, it never stops. No trust. Now we both cheat.
What you mean? You mean what never stops?
The cheating.
The cheating never stops. No trust. Now we both cheat. Right. Well, see, to me, it depends on the people.
Yeah.
Because if one person is saying, okay, I cheated, and he's wanting me to remain, like I said, remain vigilant, let him know that I'm remorseful. Do you show remorse?
Right.
Are you sorry? Or are you just like, I don't want to talk about this?
Or have you went back to who you were prior to cheating?
You can't do that.
Yeah.
Because now you're still the same person.
Right.
And what evidence do they have that you're working on you or trying to be better for us, for our union? You know what I'm saying? So you can't just resort back and revert back to being this how I am. Well, then if
it's been 2 months now, all of a sudden you should be past it now. Because I talked to my homeboy and he said when he cheated on his wife, it's 60 days. It's supposed to be normal again, and that's not realistic because everybody's process is different. Because sometimes it takes longer for you to get to an end result than someone else, based on your domestication and where you come from. Sometimes how you were brought up, or if you experienced or you saw something with your parents in your own, in your past life, those things are sitting in you and you don't know that. And when you deal with those things, you might go back to how you saw it handled in the past and deal with it according to that. Whereas someone else that never dealt with it may deal with it in a different way, and they may be able to get over it sooner. But the point being, you just have to give that person their time in order to heal. It's almost like being shot.
Hey, Keith.
You've been shot. Some person might recover quicker than another, but you've got to allow that wound to heal. Let the body naturally process what it's been going through so that you can move forward.
Right. And then also understand, y'all, there are waves of pain. There are waves of hurt that are going to come because you could have forgiven this person, like truly have forgiven, but we are human. Mm-hmm. Just like something that may have happened to you years ago, it comes up to you again, and it resurfaces the thought, and then your thought actually leads to a feeling.
It's on, Keith. She just hot.
Both of y'all better leave me alone.
Hey, Shamika. We're not forgetting y'all questions on our Facebook Live. We'll get to you guys in a second.
When you have dealt with a hurtful situation, there are going to be waves of emotion. Like we could be good for 3 weeks, and then like that next week is like something may have. There could have been something that was unsubconscious. There could have been a song that came on.
Something on TV.
I mean, it could have, and you just like,
oh, you.
And so now what happens is, me or him as being the one who's been hurt. Now you have to be mindful of your thoughts because you feel like, okay, now this wave of emotion has came up again and I can't believe she did me like that, man. Then you start thinking about it. So now you start projecting your thoughts onto me. But if you've truly forgiven me, you can't project those thoughts onto me. You have to tackle those yourself. And then if I'm still working in being the one to gently bring it up and let you know that I'm still remorseful, I'm still sorry, then even when you having those thoughts, you still see my efforts of showing you that I'm accountable and that I'm forever sorry. Mm-hmm. I'm hoping I'm making sense. So,
and it's possible that, like you said, subconsciously, the person can get bitter and try to torment the other person because they want them.
Say that.
Because they want the other person to feel how they felt in that situation.
Misery loves company, y'all. It's just like we talked about with shame and blame. Because now the thought has come up and these feelings have resurfaced. Now you start dealing with me a certain way.
Right.
Or you start, like you said, trying to bring it up, like you're doing all that. You probably have to see that kind of stuff.
Right.
You trying to use that as ammunition against them. That ain't gonna resolve nothing. That's gonna continue to make the situation worse. But if both people, this person, I'm the cheater in this situation. A, If I'm working on showing you that I'm forever grateful and I'm remorseful and I'm sorry, and you're working on being mindful,
that's one of my points. You have to acknowledge.
Always acknowledge it,
and try not to let bitterness stay.
This person right here, you cannot. You have to be mindful of your thoughts and not be bitter. So if we both collectively doing the work, you know what I'm saying, doing the work, then we can get through anything.
What's up, London?
But the number one thing about forgiveness, y'all, is it is a choice. Just with like anything, just with like anything else, you choose if you want to forgive that person or not. Because I'm gonna tell you something. I had something I thought about today. Forgiveness comes and healing comes in its own time. That's what we talked about earlier. It comes in its own time, but you have to choose, right? Mm-hmm. And you have to be open and willing to forgiveness. You see how they play on words? Forgiving.
See, when you've been married a long time, hold on, wait a minute. Let me interject right here. See, when you've been married a long time like this, she's taking, like when we have our brainstorming sessions, we talk, but then we go and we write. She's taking all my points off my paper right now. Go ahead.
You better jump in there then. You know, I'm talking about but that's basically what you have to be forgiving. It's a choice. Just like with anything else, you choose to cheat, you choose to eat, you choose. Sometimes you don't choose to sleep because you know I'm knocking on that number and sleep just be overtaking me sometimes. But what I'm saying is everything we do is a choice. Our life basically is made up of the choices and the decisions that we've made. So if you're going to forgive this person and if you're going to stay, this is my thing. If you're going to stay and you've made the choice to stay, you need to be making the choice to be willing to forgive. Because otherwise you're going to be in a miserable existence. And the person that cheated, you need to be making sure that you're working. If you feel like your mindset should be for the rest of my life, I'm going to be working to make sure that this person knows that I'm sorry or that I talk with my hands.
I just don't want you to hit me like you did last week and put me in an abusive relationship. And then I got to see if I got to forgive you or not.
Yeah, well, look, I'm going to be working to be forgiving. Don't be remorseful. So anyway, I forgot what I was going to say.
No, let me just interject right there. Because sometimes people can trivialize what we're going through. And that can make us angrier.
What you say?
Trivialize, like make light of it.
Okay. I'm chill. Yeah, don't make it seem like it's a small thing. Like
I just did it. I just did it with
one time.
Dang.
Somebody, it ain't even go all the way in.
I ain't even like my homeboy. He got a side chick.
Oh God.
Oh man.
What?
No.
She just I can't say the wrong thing.
Yeah, because
I'm not gonna say the words. I always make the sound. I ain't crazy. But I'm just saying, like, that's what they'll say. It's always something so menial and trivial, like it ain't nothing. Like, yeah, it's just a bottle of water. You can get another one. It ain't small. It didn't go all the way. You got too far.
You got too far. And so let me also say this. There's some comments that came up. Somebody might be saying, when you forgive, do you forget? One thing is for certain, you never are able to do anything about your memories. You may forgive that person, but you'll never be able to forget the mistrust, the mistreatment in that situation. And then somebody might say, if you forgive them, are you condoning their actions? That doesn't mean that you're condoning their actions either. Just because you're forgiving someone doesn't mean that you're okay with what happened. You're just acknowledging it, but you're not condoning or saying that it's okay.
Right. And I'm gonna see. Okay, Sheila said on Facebook Live, let's see, you just don't wake up and it's all well. Absolutely. And she said, okay, she has to go through her process, and even have going through it, she might come out and say, you know what? Nah, I can't do this. You have to go to God in prayer and get through this to truly, hold on, let me open it up. Forgive. That's absolutely true, because you can wake up one day and be like, I just can't do this. And even if you say, okay, this is it intolerable or intolerable? Hold on, I'm trying to think.
Yes.
Which one? Help me, people, because I got co-reporter brain and I'm trying to think. But anyway, even if you say I can't tolerate this any longer, you still have to forgive. even if you don't stay with that person, even if y'all don't never talk any again, forgiveness is about us, because forgiveness turns into bitterness, angry, anger, resentment. And the thing about forgiveness, unforgiveness is very deceptive, because you think, I'm cool. I'm done. I mean, it ain't bothering me, but it is. It is. And it rears its ugly head somewhere, because then what'll happen is you'll hold on it. This person has a tie to you. So the next relationship that you may choose to get in, if there's an inkling of something that maybe might be similar to the situation that happened before, you'll dip your toe in and be like, I can't do this because it's too for me, because you never forgave. See what I'm saying?
Yep.
So let me see. Keith said, what you say, Keith? I'm dealing with that now, to where the past hurt was brought into our current situation, but we talk often and things are getting better. We have even started to plan for marriage. That's wonderful. That's absolutely wonderful. But like I said, whoever was the one to cheat, and if y'all decided we're going to get married, because marriage changes things. Hello, somebody.
It changes everything.
It changes things. And people are, it's just a paper. Okay. It's a magical paper then. It's magical. It's like a unicorn. So I'm glad that you guys are working past it and getting past it. I'm gonna be in prayer for y'all and everything. So that's absolutely wonderful, though, because you can get past infidelity in a relationship. It just depends on the person, and if you choose to, and if the other person that's cheated, if the cheater makes you feel as though they are worth your time to even, go into continue out the relationship with them. Because again, even if y'all don't stay together, you still have to be working on forgiveness. Forgiveness is an issue, is a matter of the heart, y'all. Yeah. I'm telling you what I heard, what I know, not what I heard. I'm just saying, it really is a deceptive thing, and you think and you good, and then something comes up, and you be like, "Oh, Lord, where that come from?" Those unforgiving issues that you're dealing with, boo boo. Mm-hmm. Thank you, London Williams. This thing just do not be moving.
And so Shella said outside influences can also make it hard to forgive.
Okay, when you say outside influences, I was just looking at that. What I'm trying to think.
While you thinking, let me talk.
Why? Yeah, like I'm saying, why?
Why?
Like why when she says,
I think when she says that, she's saying outside, and tell me if I'm wrong, Shella, but outside, like you may have some people around you that are like, if it were me, I would handle it this way, or whatever you may have confided in them about may be an outside influence that make it hard for you to forgive, because they may bring up a point about something that you may not have thought about. And like, oh yeah, girl, I didn't think about that when this happened, because when this happened to me and I forgave this person, this is what the end result was. So that could be planting a negative seed into the situation that could make it harder for you to forgive that person.
That's true. And I guess, are you speaking about in marriage, or are you speaking about forgiveness, across the board? Like somebody said, family, friends, absolutely.
Yeah. And then while you're thinking about that, just because you're operating in forgiveness, some people may think about should you or should you not. And this is not just from what the point I'm about to make isn't just about marriage, but some people want to know, should they confront the person? And you don't always have to confront someone about a situation when it comes to forgiveness. That's not always the case, because the reality of it is, more than anything, forgiveness is for you. It's not for them. Because, and you brought this point up, and I had a prop, but I didn't bring it with me. Oh. When you reference forgiving, it's forgiving, because essentially what you're doing, just pretend like this is a weight. When you're walking around holding something, it's heavy.
Right.
And so you're walking around with it, and it's holding you down and it's holding you back. Because what unforgiveness does is it keeps you looking in the back, and it keeps you stagnant. It doesn't help you to move forward. So imagine that this is like a 20-pound weight. So you walking around your life, and to you, you're just walking around normally. But people can see now, because you're carrying more weight, your posture changes. your demeanor changes. You may not smile as much because why? Because you're heavier. Right. Because you're walking around with the heaviness of unforgiveness. And so to forgive, you have to be forgiving. You have to give away that thing that's holding you back, the thing that's heavy to you. Because now, once you give it away, when you are forgiving, now it allows you to move forward at a faster pace than it would if you were just holding on to it. Because just think about people that do someone that does track or runs. Mm-hmm. They may have that parachute on them and they're running against the resistance. But when you take it off, you move a lot faster. So being forgiving is giving away that thing that's holding you back so that you can start to move forward in your life.
That's true. Mm-hmm. And oftentimes I think we forgiveness for us warrants an apology for people. But forgiveness doesn't always warrant an apology. Make the comments go away. Yeah, no.
Why does it keep doing that?
Why you keep touching me? But anyway,
Joker?
Forgiveness doesn't always warrant.
Sheva said exactly. Friends and family would give their opinion.
Yeah. I get that too, as far as, being influenced by, if you're going to stay, if you're going to leave or whatever the case may be. And that's why you have to stand in your truth and know what you're going to do. But I'm not saying tolerate, forgiveness, again, does not excuse it. And it doesn't always come with an apology. Now, for me, I'm not telling nobody else to do nothing. For me, just me, if I have been wronged or something like that, and especially in a marriage, and you not even man enough to apologize or acknowledge what you've done wrong, that speaks to your character. Mm-hmm. And now we're gonna have some problems. You know what I'm saying? Because if you can't acknowledge your wrongdoing and accept it, and then take responsibility for what you've done, then again that speaks to your character. And now I don't know if our marriage can withstand, because the core values that we hold, they falling by the wayside. Something is happening. There's something off. So,
and some people think that if you forgive someone, that you're letting them off the hook.
And that does not mean that at all.
That doesn't mean that.
That don't mean, because they'll say, well, you forgave me. But forgiveness don't make it go away. Just because I forgave you don't mean it disappeared.
And that doesn't mean that your actions warrant that you can go, since they forgave you now.
Let me go do it again.
I can start over. I got a fresh slate. Wipe it off. And start over again.
That is not how that works. And so Billy said, I wish I would have seen this months ago, but I don't think my question was seen. So he said, do you believe once a cheater, always a cheater?
No. You know
why? Absolutely not.
And
I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to raise my hand too. Once a cheater, always a cheater. No. And I'm gonna tell you why. Because when I was a kid, I used to love to steal. I don't know what was wrong with me. I used to love. I don't know. It was like something about the fact that you was picking up and like, oh, this is cute. And sometimes and sometimes the people would see you and just be like. So I just walk out the stores by 4 or 5 years old.
She started with candy, then she started stealing briskets.
Boy, shut up. No, I didn't. Don't believe me. Anyway, I was just steal a little piece of candy, but that don't mean that I'm a thief.
Right.
I did that.
And that's not who you are.
Back then, that sometimes it's because you didn't know. It could have been you. And I'm not making light of anybody who's cheated and stuff like that, but you do dumb stuff when you're younger. And some people on here probably is doing it right now, but I'm just saying, there may be some things, some growing ups, some maturities that we have to make in our mind, not necessarily our age. But what I'm saying is that didn't make me a thief. That don't mean that I'm don't y'all don't be locking up stuff if I come to your house. I don't steal nothing no more. I got some money now. But I'm just saying, just because you do a thing, now if you are habitually cheating,
yeah, that's different.
That's one thing.
There's a difference between a one-night stand and an affair.
Absolutely.
Because the key thing about cheating is that you have to acknowledge, recognize, and then turn away from. You have to go the other way. You see what I'm saying?
Repent, says the Lord.
So we got some.
Billy, be quiet.
Jamie chose stealing it.
I'm gonna tell y'all the story why he getting it. When I was little, y'all, I'll tell it at the end because we in the middle of this. Okay,
Mary said, "How about when when you do forgive, but the person takes advantage and repeats. So the question, do you want to answer that? Or
no, go ahead.
So then that's when you have to take inventory yourself, because now, are they really about being repentant about what they did? If you're continuing to do the same thing over and over again, are you really sorry for what your act? Let me take a step back. Your actions have to match your words. If you're saying I messed up, I did something wrong, then your actions should mirror what your words say.
They have to.
If they don't, then are you really
right?
Are you really serious or apologetic about what you did? So then at that point, the ball is back in your court. Mm-hmm. We can't tell you what you should do, but we will say that at that point, you have a decision that you have to make in that situation. Are you going to allow yourself to stay and deal with that, or are you not? But that's your call at that point.
Right. So, relative to that, it's like, are you going to be a willing participant in somebody mistreating you? That's the question you have to ask yourself. Am I going to be a willing participant? And I'm not saying that you were mistreated in an instance like you said. You inferred like they're repeatedly doing this. So that
the same behavior
to me says that it's ongoing, like it's currently happening, it's present. So am I, Jamie, going to be a willing participant in somebody mistreating me? My answer is no. So that's something, my answer. This is for me. But that's something that's a personal thing. If a person continues to do the same thing, then you kind of have to ask yourself why.
Right. And if someone shows you who they are,
please believe them. Yeah. People's actions speak way, way louder than their words. So, I don't want, like I said, I don't know if that question was for you or for someone else, but that's a personal decision that you have to make. And again, the difference between unforgiveness and what I'm going to tolerate. There's a difference, because even if you decide, well, this is unforgivable, he steady cheating on me, I'm going to leave. Well, you can leave, but you can still forgive him. You just didn't tolerate the behavior. So I hope that makes sense. So, and then somebody else says forgiveness is for you. Even if you don't work out the marriage, you still need to forgive. That's right. That's what we said. Thanks, Chris.
And forgiveness.
He said he had a PhD in cheating, but God. Hallelujah.
And so also forgiveness is not a one-time thing.
No.
You have to live in forgiveness.
Yeah.
Because guess what? There may be something that person did.
No, I'm just going to go ahead.
I'm got on your page.
Yes.
Forgiveness is not a one-time thing, because guess what? At some point in your relationship, it may not be that particular offense, but there is something that you're going to need forgiveness for as well. So you have to keep that in mind, especially if you've decided that you're going to stay with that person.
Especially.
You have to live in, you have to sleep in, and roll around and flower yourself in forgiveness and put yourself in the forgiveness grease and dunk and sit in it.
You're going to have to be that forgiveness chicken.
Tiffany said knowing your worth is so important. That's very true.
Absolutely.
That's very true.
That's everything.
Because if you don't know your worth, then people will treat you based on what they think you're worth.
Yep. Absolutely.
They may not think you're about nothing.
Right. And then you also, to your point, what you were saying, people are people, and people will let you down.
Yep.
We ain't talking about God the Father, the universe, or whatever. We're talking about people. People are people, because think about it, you let yourself down sometimes. So you don't think that somebody else is gonna let you down? You cannot hold somebody to these high, unrealistic expectations of being of perfection. It's unrealistic. It's not gonna happen, because we're imperfect people.
Right.
So you just, like he said, you have to just be in a perpetual state of forgiveness, of willingness to be forgiving. It may take some time, but you have to be in a perpetual state of choosing to be willing to be forgiving, especially in a marriage.
Yeah. Forgiveness is intentional.
Yeah, absolutely.
You can't happen up on forgiveness.
No, you got it. But that's like a choice. Everything that you choose to do, you had an intent. And then you must say, I never intend to, but at the point that you was headed that way, then there was intention.
Right. And forgiveness is you just said a choice.
Yeah.
It's a choice, and it's not a magical event. You're not going to be able to wake up one day and be like, dun, 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 now I forgive everything and everybody. You have to work at forgiveness. It's like a muscle.
It's absolutely
It's like
true.
a muscle.
That's absolutely true. And that's just like faith, hope, belief, anything. You got to work at it. You just don't wake up one day and be like, oh my God, I just have so much faith. Or, oh my God, everything is something that you have to work at in this lifetime.
Right.
And if you are going to be, and we talk marriage, but in relationships, if you're going to be with somebody, or if you're going to try to cultivate any type of relationship at any point, you have to be for building trust. And if the trust has been broken, the first step to that is acknowledging it, and the other person has to be willing to give the forgiveness. And even if you say, you know what, I am willing to forgive you, but I have not forgiven you yet. That's okay. Mm-hmm. Because it's okay not to be okay until you okay, if that makes any sense.
Okay.
Okay.
And so also, I was going to say there are levels to forgiveness depending on the offense.
Oh, yeah. That was one of mine, too. I had that on my paper. Levels. What I had?
Levels of devils.
Levels of devils.
So there's a difference between forgiving somebody like they do the travesty of leaving the ketchup in the refrigerator, mm-hmm. as opposed to them wrecking your car or something. There are levels of forgiveness depending on what the issue was right. or is.
Absolutely.
Miss Diva Johnson said, I think once you forgive someone, it should never be brought up at any time. You're very strong.
Because I have to disagree with you. I love you, Miss Diva, but I have to disagree because
strong.
It's because we're human.
Yeah.
And sometimes you can't even control what you feel. You just can't. And a lot of times
people are working to get to that point where you are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And for you, sometimes for some people to get to a point of forgiveness, there has to be some questions answered. And sometimes you won't get this. Now, mind you, because sometimes somebody may die, pass away, and you never got a chance to hash it out, or you never got, in those type of situations, you have to choose to forgive and forgive. It may not ever come with an apology, or it may not ever come with a conversation. But relative to marriage, and the person is still there, and I've decided that I forgive you, that still doesn't negate the feelings and the emotions that I'm going to have. Because if I hold all of that stuff in, not to say I'm going to project my hurts and pains on him, but I do need him to be compassionate, mm-hmm. and understanding with what I'm dealing with, and us talking about it is going to continue to cultivate my healing, mm-hmm. to help me to progress toward the forgiveness. So
That's good.
But I understand what you're saying. If you there,
yeah,
high five, girl.
You on the accelerated path. Ambrosia, I'm going to get to that in just a second. She said, what types of exercises to help someone learn how to forgive besides praying? That's good.
Tim said, oh no, talking about it helps them soothe the situation. You have to know how one another is feeling to get to the other side of strife, happiness.
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah.
And then let me make this last point, then we'll talk about some action steps. Sometimes people equate forgiveness with weakness.
That's true. That's I was yes, that's on my paper too. I have.
It ain't nothing on no paper.
I had forgot to say that. You got them magic. Remember the magic marker?
Yeah, paper just empty.
Oh Lord! But what you say? Yeah, elaborate. You hot because you drinking water tonight.
My throat dry.
His throat. You said, So sometimes people do equate forgiveness with weakness, and also sometimes it feels good to be unforgiving, because you feel like you got something on them. Like, I ain't forgiving him, because it make you feel good. You walk in that thing, I ain't forgiving him.
And people don't understand the amount of power that it takes to forgive somebody.
It takes a lot.
It takes a lot of power.
It don't take really no to be angry.
Instagram, in 24 seconds, we're gonna come right back. Our first.
An hour.
It's been an hour already.
Dang, okay.
I told you forgiveness was gonna be hot. In 15 seconds, we'll be right back. So y'all on Instagram, we'll be back as soon as we end. We'll come right back in just a second. All right. So
what was the point you was making? You were saying something.
I was just saying that people, it's weaknesses that forgiveness, being forgiving it takes strength to be able to do it. All right, Instagram, we're coming right back right now. Now, give me 1 second.
What's my pen?
All right, we're coming back. We just wait for them to come back. Give us a second while we bring Instagram back on. That's one thing I like about Facebook. They let you stream.
It's long, for a while. It ain't never went off on us.
Yeah. So we're waiting for them to come on back. There go Miss Diva.
And so, relative to what you said, Ambrosius, about praying for the person you're asking for action steps besides praying. One thought that I had also is, if you're at a point to where you cannot pray for the person, and you feel like you've forgiven them, but you cannot pray for them or like speak blessings over them, then you probably, because in your mind, you're like, I don't want them to be blessed. I don't want them to have no. So that there may be an indication that you're still harboring some unforgiveness, because I have had some horrible things happen to me in my life, in my childhood, things that nobody should ever have to experience. I've kind of touched on it a little bit before, and I thought that I was good. Like, I ain't forgiving. Forget that. They don't deserve my forgiveness. He's trifling, whatever. But I didn't realize how that was really, really affecting my life and me progressing forward. But at the point that I really, truly forgave, now I can, because I had so many horrible, bad thoughts about the people that I had unforgiving, feelings toward. It was horrible, and it was bad. But at the point that I was able to pray for them, just like I pray for anybody else, then I knew that I truly had forgiven them. Doesn't excuse the offense. Don't think you're finna be invited over to my house for Christmas or nothing. We ain't finna do none of that. Like, no, that don't mean we finna have company and all that. That I'm just saying that me knowing that I can think of them and pray for them and say, I hope that works out for you or whatever. Let me know, for me personally, that I had truly forgiven that person, because it is really a matter of the heart.
Hey, Niecy.
Hey, girl.
That was good, baby.
Thank you.
Yeah. So I got a couple of action steps from the Gottman Institute. Some dude named Gottman. So we just gonna share those with y'all real quick. Shout out to Gottman.
Gottman.
Few ways that you can help you to operate in forgiveness. Write down 3 ways negative emotions have or do impact your life in your marriage.
3 ways that negative emotions impact your marriage?
Your life or your marriage. Be aware of unprocessed emotions. And I think for this first point, one of the key things that you may need to do is to have a counselor or friend help with this. Sometimes just talking about it with someone, sometimes even a third party. We always talk about how important counseling is. You may want to step in and talk to somebody, even if you're talking about it by yourself, because forgiveness is personal. So you're talking to someone that that's a good listener, that can offer you good counsel is one way. Find a way to remove yourself from the negative emotion. Find activities that you can do. Yoga, going to the gym, fishing. Sometimes just getting away from the situation. Like, for example, in a marriage, if the majority of the things that have happened in your life have happened in your house, sometimes it's good to get out of your house. You see what I'm saying? Because when you come in, I don't know if people believe in energy, but sometimes there could be negative energy in that place. And sometimes you have to remove yourself. So a good thing to do is exercising. It allows you to let out steam. It releases endorphins into your body, and it helps you to kind of be able to process things a little bit better when you have those types of activities. Personally, for me, I love to fish. Did you just do the cross-eyed?
No.
Being alone with nature and just being able to sit with the water and the calm and everything, and it allows you to gather your thoughts and allows you to reflect, is something that I do. And then also practice expressing thoughts and feelings in a positive manner.
That's true. That's good. She says, thanks for the insight. We hinder our own blessings when we can't forgive, but we expect God to forgive us. That's absolutely true. And that was one of the points that I was going to make is, we are constantly wanting to be forgiven. So put yourself on the other side of that. Mm-hmm. Like you want to be forgiven. So you have to be mindful that that other person is going to want forgiveness as well. Because if you think about it, and this is in a situation where the person is really trying to be accommodating, is really trying to work toward you forgiving them. You see the efforts, they're trying to show you that they're remorseful and all this kind of stuff. Ask yourself, if it were you and you were making every effort possible, you actually were doing the best that you could do,
and that wasn't enough
in your ability, would you want forgiveness? Would you expect them at some point to forgive you? I mean, my answer would be yes.
Right.
But then too, again, it still is personal as far as the timing for everybody's, forgiveness to reside in them. True forgiveness.
Mm-hmm. So, take small steps to repair and let go of grudges. The number one thing that prevents couples from building back up is being unable to bounce back from conflict in a healthy way. Mm-hmm. Try your best to get back on track as soon as possible.
Right. Yeah. And one thing you have to continue to do is stop judging them. Because you just have a tendency to do that. We judge and we analyze based on the fact that we have unforgiveness, and then there may be those trust issues there. So you have a tendency to write your own story in your mind, and it may not even be the truth. So
you said women do that, right? A lot.
Yeah, women do it, but men do it too.
No, I'm saying you said that though.
But yeah, we do. You have a tendency to write your own story in your mind. Whatever you hold in your mind, you will create that experience. Like my mama, she says,
that's a really
right.
Good point.
My mama say, you learn what you live and you live what you learn. It's real. It's true, because whatever you are thinking, you have a tendency to somehow bring that energy toward you, and you just kind of just those things start to manifest themselves. So you have to be very mindful of our thoughts, of our thoughts. And if you are judging that person, stop judging that person. Realize that, because you may say, I would have never done that. But you don't know. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that especially in a different stage of life, in a different season of life, when something may happen, you don't know, because what happens is there are small, subtle things that happen that lead you to something that you like.
That you normally wouldn't have let pass, but exactly. You're like, dang, I can't believe I did that. I can't believe I said that.
Because you could be really dealing with something. You could be deceiving yourself right now saying you good. You could be dealing with porn and saying, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? You could be dealing with alcoholism or drugs and saying, but it ain't affecting me. See,
I can handle it.
You're deceiving yourself. And so being that you're already dealing with those deceptive thoughts anyway, when the subtle things happen, you may not even realize it. And the next thing you know, you're looking up like, I can't believe I did that. My hand is raised first. So I ain't judging nobody on none of these platforms. Yeah. Because I ain't perfect and God ain't through with me yet. But I just thank God that there is forgiveness, and that I have learned to be forgiving and to forgive and to, rest in unforgiveness, because it has really revolutionized me as a person and our relationship. And some of the stuff that I needed to forgive, people that I needed to forgive, and the unforgiveness that I was harboring had nothing to do with us, had nothing to do with our marriage. There was outside things.
Just like Shella said.
Yeah, but it wasn't outside influences. There were outside experiences that I had from childhood and, all that kind of stuff that you bring with you, and you are really deceive yourself that I'm good. And then a situation may come up and you be like, oh, wow, where did that come from? Yep.
So another thing that you can do to help you with processing forgiveness is dating. Interacting with your spouse to help build the passion again. And then in the part of doing the date, agree to leave the issue for the time being and then work on rebuilding. Right. So if you're going to go out on a date, try your best to leave the issue where it is. so that you can start to build that intimacy and that trust again. But going out on a date and rehashing or being like, oh, I can't believe you did this, that defeats the whole purpose.
Don't feed the negative.
Yeah.
Don't feed the negative. Yeah.
Focus on your why. What was the thing that made you fall in love with that person? What was the thing that drew you in? What's the thing that made you fall in love with your spouse? Focus on, the thing is you got to focus on positive energy. You got to focus on positive things, because the more anything you feed grows. So if you're feeding negativity, it's going to continue to grow. So think about the things that were positives that made you fall in love with your spouse, whether it's the husband or the wife, whatever it is, think about, well, this is what drew me in. That thing is still there. That reason that you love that person is still there. But sometimes you got to mix it up or cultivate it or some, so that you can, make it come back up to the surface.
Absolutely.
And then this is part of it. Tough, but you have to accept responsibility for what part you played in the situation. Not that it's your fault, not that you did it, not that you're the one that needs to forgive them, but understanding that you played a part in it in some kind of way.
Right.
Because it's funny how when we talk to different couples, you hear one side of the story, and then you hear the other side, and then you hear the truth. It's like, well, she did this, he did that. And then you hear, and this is one thing that we've learned, is the longer you let somebody talk, the truth eventually comes out.
Absolutely.
There's more when you're we'll say inspiring a couple, the more you listen more than you talk.
Right.
And the more they talk, it's like, because that time when I locked her out the house, she wanted to get mad. I told her I was sorry. Locked her out the house.
Did you lock your wife out the house?
Out the house. You know what I'm saying? So people, as they talk, they begin to give their truth. So there is a part that you played in. Now, we're not talking about abuse or anything like that, but we're talking about, it could have been something you did, it could have been something you said, but there still has to be accountability in a relationship.
Right.
True. We were just talking about this weekend, how we know what we do.
Oh, yeah.
You may not ever say it. You may not talk about it. You may, well, it's because of this, but we know what we do, and we know our shortcomings, and we know the things that we do that get on somebody else's nerves. Because I know something you say all the time is, I get on my own nerves.
I do.
And so if you get on your own nerves,
gets on Jamie's nerves.
If you get on your own nerves, guess what? You're probably gonna get on my nerves too. You know what I'm saying? Because when you're going through different parts of your life, you're trying to figure it out. That's just part of it.
Right.
But you got to recognize, okay, what could I have done? What could I have said? Could I have been more encouraging here? Was there something? And this is when that intimate conversation has to happen. Is there something that I was missing that you needed from me that I didn't give to you?
Right.
What could I have done?
Those are the questions you need to ask.
What could I have done in this situation that, not necessarily saying that it would have changed your outcome, but what could I have done in this situation that may have at least made you think about it one more time before you did it? But having that open, and then being mature enough to hear the answer after you've said it.
Because it's hard. You've asked it. It's hard. This is something that takes straight up maturity. And if you don't think you can handle it, don't even embark upon this mission, because it is not yours. Because it's not easy to hear why someone, wronged you. And then it's like you trying to tell me it's my fault. And it's not that they're saying that it's your fault, but there are two people in a relationship. There's two, not one. So again, like I said, a lot of times it is a personal, somebody, it was their own, something personal that they were dealing with that made them choose to do what they did. However, you're with me. So with you being with me, let's talk about this. Why did you do what you did? And you know what I'm saying? Is there something I could have did to help, your mindset? Because it could just be that you're not easy to talk to. I'm dealing with this, but I don't feel like I can trust you with my heart. So that was my outlet. You just don't know. But just be prepared for whatever you hear to be able to y'all want to work through it if you choose to.
If you choose to. Arcita said, that part always gets me, because how does that happen when it's a choice of the partner that decided to step out of the union?
What part?
I think, are you talking about cheating? When she said step out of the union.
That part always gets me. But what part does she mean? Because how does that happen? How does what happen? What part always gets you, and how does what happen? There's a delay on Instagram.
You might be, or she's saying, are you talking about accepting accountability? Is that the part that you're talking about, Ursita?
This thing be tripping. Sometimes, Pat, yes, Pat said yes. That where did the wife cause it? Oh, where did the wife cause it?
Oh.
Go ahead. That one did your point.
Oh, I thought you.
When you were saying accountability, so they want to know now.
Well, no, see,
you opened up a can of worms.
No, now hear me. I'm not saying you caused it. I'm not saying that at all. Because ultimately, at the end of the day, we are responsible for our own actions. That's one thing we always say is that what you decide to do is your decision. At the end of the day, if someone steps outside of their union, they are still accountable for their own actions. But see, that's when you have to have that conversation and ask those questions.
Those hard questions.
Yeah. Because there could be, and that's not in every situation, but there could be something that you did or something that you said. He may not have felt like he could talk to you. He may have felt like there was one person that I knew that stepped out on their wife. Again, not condoning their action, but do you know what they said? They said, I did it because she was nice to me. That was their reason. It's still wrong. But that was their reason. This person was nicer to me than you were. Mm-hmm. That's kind of hard to hear, but that was that person's truth.
Right.
So I hope, does that answer your question?
Right. So she was saying, she said she knows, but for example, I said you can have the perfect wife, but the husband still cheats because of their own pain. Exactly. And that's the exception to the rule. Mm-hmm. So in that situation, like oftentimes it's going to be, that maybe was a cause and effect, but sometimes it's not. It's not about the other person. It's just sometimes, like for instance, when a loved one passes away, and that kind of stuff.
That happens.
This sounds crazy, y'all, mm-hmm. but it's so true. And we've talked to people. Their mom passes away. Their dad passes away. They, start becoming so, in tune with mortality.
Yeah.
And you're getting older, and you may have been married for 30 years, or you may have got married young. You may feel like I never experienced life, and it just starts to flood you with all of this stuff, and you make a bad decision. And it was not necessarily based on the other person. It was something that I did.
Yep.
So that's why I said there is exceptions to this rule. So in the situation, what he was talking about earlier, not this situation, but with you may have, and I use perfect loosely, but
loosely,
perfect, but it wasn't because of anything that person necessarily did. It was because of your own issues. You know what I'm saying? So, or that person's own issues. So I hope that makes sense. Arthur. Cheating should. Pat Lynn says cheating should never happen with married people.
It shouldn't.
It shouldn't, Pat.
It does.
Although, it rains. Do you really? She said, "Gotcha." I just am an advocate for people, and sometimes I hear that a lot. That what did you do or didn't do, and I feel that the accountability should only fall on the cheater. That's true in some instances.
In some cases.
In some cases it is. But
one thing about this is there's no straight across the board answer for every situation. It's like we both have hands. We both have different fingerprints. There are not two snowflakes that fall alike. Every situation is tailored to those two people.
Right.
Because what works for us is not going to work for everybody watching this broadcast. That's why we share our experiences and say, this is what's worked for us. And hopefully we can give someone out there something that they can pull from and then modify it to make it work for their relationship. Right. But because we are very unorthodox in the way that we operate, very unorthodox. Yeah. And some of the things that we do and some of the things that we say, people are like, I don't understand how y'all do that, but that works for us. And that's why one of our catchphrases is do y'all. Do y'all. Do what works for you. Take some things, like I always say, take the meat, spit out the bones. Mm-hmm. If there's one thing that said that helps somebody out there, then it was worth it. But you've got to tailor make it for your relationship, because we're two individuals And just like everybody else is, you got to find out what works for you.
But just like in the game of basketball, which I don't know sports at all, but I always hear people say this.
Thank you, Arcita.
You have to, they say like there are fundamentals to the game. Regardless, there are rules, the regulations, there are fundamentals to playing basketball, but everybody don't play basketball the same way. And when you're on the court, when you're in a marriage, they may have called a play, but you see what's called? You see, is it football? Maybe it's football.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You see an opening, like the coach may have called the play.
Okay.
But they see something
that the coach don't see.
Yeah, while they're in the game. So whatever
like
that
audible.
I guess audible. Is that what they call it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So an audible. So you can call an audible in your marriage, but there are fundamentals to making a marriage work. But again, you tweak and twerk according to what works for y'all.
You gonna do that later? You gonna twerk?
Put your hand down.
She brought it up.
So let's see.
You know that song you like? What's that song? What's that song you be like right now?
Twerk? I think it's called Twerk.
Cool. What's that?
Black youngster, somebody. Toot.
That's
y'all heard song. That? Shake that booty to the stove. Shake that booty to the floor. I love it. Okay.
Pat Lynn said, I have been cheated on and it hurts so bad. How can you do it?
How can you do what? How can you forgive it, or how can you cheat on somebody?
Hopefully that ain't what he's saying.
She said, I've been cheated on. She said, are you asking how could you cheat on somebody? Or are you asking how can you forgive the person for cheating on you? So I'm saying.
I guess we'll wait to hear back in just a second.
Arcita says she loves marriage. But thank you, Arcita. Thank you, man. We don't be trying to confuse nobody.
Right. What's up, Kanika?
Hey, Kanika. So I'm sorry, y'all. I'm just shaking. I'm so used to have my hands on the table. But I hope this thing ain't, you know how it's glitching, looking like it's glitching. So I was waiting on Pat to respond back.
We're gonna wrap it up.
But one thing I will say, in wrapping up the broadcast is unforgiveness torments you. It really does. If you are in a house with somebody and
hey
Keishelle, cheat on someone you love, how can you do it?
Yeah.
She's asking, how can you do it?
I mean, it just
subtle things happen one step at a time. Because a lot of times, Pat, it's not, you didn't even have the intention. Sometimes it was not the intention. And that's why I say people say what they would never do, but you could be at a place in your life, like I said, a loved one. It could be that your marriage is going through that season of dryness. You could be in a rut.
Yep. That rut is a mother.
I'm telling y'all, there with marriage, and we on the 20-year mark, and there are seasons to this thing. I'm telling you. So it could have just been one of them seasons, because you can love someone and hurt them. Like in our minds, when you're the one that's been hurt, you in your mind you think, how could you do that? How could you know what I'm saying? But think about, there are probably things in your life that you've done to hurt someone. And they may be thinking, how could you do that to me? You know what I'm saying? Then that doesn't mean that you love them any less.
Right. And let me also add this. One thing about it, marriage life is full of issues.
Absolutely.
If it's not cheating, it's something else.
Right.
It's guaranteed. And the thing about it is, how will you know what your marriage is made of if you never go through anything? Mm-hmm. How will you know?
We're not saying go cheat and see what your marriage is made of.
I am not saying that.
Not know that,
but
I'm just saying people are listening.
I'm saying you won't know.
Somebody might try to use your point. See, he said.
So this is Candy. We finna go back there. No,
let's see what this marriage is made of, girl. So.
But situations happen in your marriage, and you won't know what the foundation of the marriage is if there is anything that you go through. Because in our situation, Pat Lynn, I cheated in our marriage. And through that, definitely not condoning what happened, but it's made our relationship stronger. Mm-hmm. It doesn't excuse the offense.
Right.
I still deal with it. This was a long time ago. It doesn't excuse the offense, but through it, like I was saying on the podcast yesterday, trial by fire. Mm-hmm. You've been through that thing, and through that, you can either. It's all about perspective. Mm-hmm. You can continue to choose to you acknowledge it, but you can continue to to focus on that, or you can try to decide to move forward and determine what can I build on from this, or how can we, and if you're going to work through it, what can we do to work on it to make our relationship stronger?
Right.
Because it can happen. You would be surprised at how many people, infidelity is it happens in most marriages.
Right.
And then, but that doesn't mean that ends the relationship.
And then too, it's not necessarily like, I've done my dirt too. I ain't just gonna let him just sit here and be like, oh, I cheated. But I've done my dirt too. We've been married a long time, and we got married. We got married young.
We were children.
So there are things that happen, and it's not because a person doesn't love you.
What's up, Eric?
It could just be a bad habit. Okay?
What's up, E? It's E.
Hey, E.
E Wills.
Hey, E. So it could be a bad habit. It could be some things that are just what's the word I'm looking for? Just a way. I hate to say this, y'all don't take me out of context, please, but it could just be the way that they are. And I'm not saying that it excuses it, but like there are people out there that drink, there are people that cuss, there are people that lie, Mike? There are people that are angry. And what do we say? That's just the way they are. That's just the way they are.
And then,
not to say that they can't change, though. That's the issue. Everybody can change if they want to. So to answer your question, how can you do that? Sometimes, like we said before, it may not even be about you.
Right.
It may just be that they don't have the capacity right now to give you what you need. Doesn't mean that they won't ever get there.
Right.
But they don't have the capacity to give it to you because they don't have it yet.
And then you don't know where they came from. They could be promiscuous based on sexual abuse.
That's what I meant. Yeah. Like, you don't know that's the way that they are based on something.
Right.
We talk a lot about childhood.
Like they didn't have an intention on hurting you.
Right.
But because they were abused as a child, they may have an issue.
That's very true.
Yeah.
That's very true, because a lot of people who were abused as children, especially women, they are very they can be promiscuous women. And you would think that it would be the other way around, but a lot of times it's not. I'm not telling you from what I heard. I'm just telling you from what I know. But so I say all that to say, you will be surprised at the things that you could do to someone that you love, and you just be like, I can't believe I did that. You know, so I don't want you, because I think you said last week that you were waiting for I think she once said she's waiting for her husband. So I don't want you to think that, once a cheater, always a cheater, and everybody is the same. That's not the case. That's not the case at all. Everybody can be redeemed, and everybody can be reformed.
Right.
You just have to be willing to want to. But again, sometimes we're wanting something from someone that they don't have the capacity to give you. You want this man to stand up and be a man. I need you to run the house, and I need you to be a man. But he never saw that. He was raised by his mama, or his grandmama. So you want him to get in here and
do something he don't know how to do.
All this stuff and running the house and being a daddy and being a husband. And he doesn't have the capacity for that yet.
And he know how to knit and fry fish. That's what he saw.
But
Big mama shuffling around the house, frying fish.
He probably can cook like a mother. He can probably cook some oxtails.
He clean.
Some greens and some cornbread. No, all that. But when it comes to running this house, I'm gonna need you to go to work. I'm gonna need you to handle me. He doesn't have the capacity for that yet, because how would he? But again, it can be taught. He just has to be willing to want it. So I'm just saying that because I know some of the things that he needed from me, I didn't have the capacity to give him when we first got married, because I didn't know that. I didn't know how to be a wife. Definitely didn't know how to be a mother. For me, what worked for me was prayer. I had to take it to the Lord in prayer, because I really didn't have a lot of positive influence of people that I wanted to share my truth with, because I didn't want to be judged. And I talked about being vulnerable before. That was a weakness for me. I felt like being vulnerable was a weakness. So I didn't know how to be what he needed me to be relative to being a wife. But I had to learn it. I had to figure out how to be a mom. So, I mean, the capacity, even though I didn't have the capacity, I was willing to learn it, and I wanted it.
And then you put it into action.
Exactly. He saw my effort. So for anybody out there who's feeling that way.
It ain't just prayer.
But, and the thing about marriage is your marriage is supposed to be healing to one another. Like to me and to you, to one another. These praying hands. Y'all be sending praying hands. Because what you know what I'm saying? Like for me, Damien really helped me heal in a lot of areas. He really did. And I would like to say to my own one, too, that I helped him heal in a lot of areas too.
Can I answer that?
I said I would like to say that was not a question. Did I help you heal in a lot of areas?
Yes.
Or in some areas I would say?
You did. Thanks for asking.
Anyway, I said that because he tells me that all the time.
Yeah, she did.
But anyway, we really did help each other heal in areas that we didn't even know. Healing, Jamil. Yes, healing. But there were issues that
she was my Neosporin.
Or if
you're older, Camphophonique.
I was just gonna say that Camphophonique, what? But yeah, but so anyway, I said I would say it can happen, and people that you love can hurt you, and it's because we're human.
More importantly, people that you love are going to hurt you
because
anybody else, you're not gonna let them get close enough to hurt you. Like you see a stranger come up to you with a stick, it's like I need to go the other way, but you get hurt by something that's close to you. You see what I'm saying?
And their actions carry weight in your heart and in your life.
Like if somebody out there on the street said, "Man, your head big." Well, I wouldn't care if anybody said that. But if somebody said something that was meant to hurt me, it's like, oh, okay. But if it's something that she says, it's gonna penetrate because she's close to me.
Right. Absolutely.
Her words carry a lot of weight with me.
That's very true. Both ways. That goes both ways. So, Hey, Allie Priceless. Hi, Alice.
What's up?
I'm gonna call you tomorrow, girl, because I'm gonna be on your side.
We gonna have lunch tomorrow.
You just heard me tell Allison I was gonna call her. Don't be jealous.
You can call her. We can still go have lunch.
Don't act like I don't have that much time because I gotta get back over here, get past the traffic. But so you gotta be forgiving when your wife don't want to go to lunch with you.
See,
I'm just playing.
Whatever. I go by myself.
I know you always do. So that's all I have for today.
Let me say this one last thing. The most important thing about everything we've talked about tonight, y'all, and we're about to wrap it up. Forgiveness is for you.
It's for you.
It is for you.
It's
forgiveness.
It's for you.
If you operate in unforgiveness, you're holding yourself back.
Do you understand how free it is to forgive? How freeing it is.
You ain't gotta think about it.
Man,
it's gone. You moving
telling
forward.
Y'all, there was some times. I'm gonna tell you this quick story because one of the people that I said that I hadn't forgiven is in my family. Like, yeah, and it's not like somebody that's in immediate family and nothing like that. But you have a tendency to maybe see them. So anytime something was gonna happen or whatever, I'm thinking, I ain't gonna hope this person ain't there. I don't even want. You know what I'm saying? So my energy, everything would just be. Because I'm like dreading the interaction. Because first of all, I'm not gonna have no interaction. So that means that you have controlled my whole, experience, my whole personality. Because I done shut down, I ain't even having fun because of you. You know what I'm saying? So at the point that I was able to forgive, I could care less where you at, what you doing, who you are. I could see you, and I'm gonna look right through you. I've forgiven you, but that don't mean we're gonna be friends. You see what I'm saying? So
I mean, you guys start going to lunch together.
That don't mean that
scrapbooking and all that.
Because the forgiveness that I had for that person was for me. Never came with an apology ever, but I had to forgive, and I'm okay with it now. Like I said, still don't mean that it excused
That's right, Denise.
But I'm good because again, like I said, I pray for this person. Blessings over their life, family, everything, and the fact that I can do that now lets me know that I have truly forgiven. So. With that,
we are done. Does anybody have any questions or anything? We dove into forgiveness.
Hey man, we've been on this journey for a long time. I thought I was gonna be done by now, so I can eat my cake.
Have you made dinner yet?
No, I want to eat dinner before you cake. I'm grown.
I knew you was gonna say that.
You know your mom would be like, "You can't have no dessert." I usually eat my dessert before dinner.
Does anybody have anything? Thank y'all so much. I think this has probably been one of our top.
With the interaction, and I love it.
Yeah, thank y'all so much. Please, if you think this can help somebody, share this on your page. If you haven't followed us yet on Marriage is Real, please do that. We have a website, marriageisreal.com. If y'all have any questions, marriageisreal@gmail.com, or you can DM us on any one of our social media platforms. And if y'all have an event and y'all want us to come speak, we do that too.
Hey.
We just did one yesterday. And somebody want us to do something else. I gotta talk to you about that.
Okay.
He
gave you more information?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
So we working it out.
When I asked
we're gonna be on Oprah. Y'all don't even know. We speaking that. We're gonna be in the garden with Oprah.
We're gonna be on all network.
We're gonna be talking about our book.
All of that good stuff.
Our book, and we're gonna be like, Oprah. I'm gonna be like, Oprah, can I have some ribs?
Oprah ain't got no ribs.
Oh, Oprah got some ribs. Have you seen her kitchen?
Yeah.
Oprah, she got some ribs.
Eat out that garden, that cabbage.
Sorry, I eat that too.
They eat them little, dang, I don't know what that is. Anyway, I'm going there being real.
Yeah, see, you know you can come.
I'm being there being real trick daddy, real country.
Okay,
but
y'all.
We love y'all so much.
Thank y'all so much.
So
and if there's anything y'all want us to talk about, let us know. Y'all know how to get contact.
I just want y'all to know y'all inspire us a lot.
Yes, and thank y'all for all the love and support.
All the nice comments is just Steve Harvey.
Come on. We're going to talk to Steve.
Yeah. Go on, Kevin.
I'm going to wear my t-shirt. It's not going to be this tight, though.
Right. Yeah. No. We would really be the talk of the town. But we love y'all. Hugs,
thank y'all for tuning in.
All that stuff.
And if y'all need us, y'all know how to find us.
Bye, y'all. Bye, everybody on Instagram, Facebook Live.
Have a good night.
YouTube.
And we still working on the event. We getting close.
We getting close.
Yes, we are.
Yeah.
We're going to wait till the summer so everybody out of school.
Yeah.